Hey guys, this is Chris with CDF News Network. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon, good night, evening. I'm not sure what time you're watching this, but any which way, um, I thought this was something important, so I decided to come on here and give you guys some straightforward facts of an event that's going on or possibly could be going on, and let you guys make your decision from there. I'm just trying to inform you. Uh, Definitely would like to see your guys' comments below. Remember, highlight me so that way I see it, or directed at me in the comments, so that way I can see it and we can have a conversation on it. I think it's quite important, actually. Um, but yeah, so, anyways, we're here to discuss Trump's proposal to end birth citizen and the 14th Amendment, how it guarantees you birth citizenship if you're born on U.S. soil. It's part of the Constitution. Our forefathers felt that, we had to have something in our Constitution saying if you're born on U.S. soil, you're automatically a citizen. And our whole nation's been like built around this idea that America's the opportunity land for immigrants. I mean, the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, anybody that's not technically Native American, um, or the original pilgrims, I guess you'd say, that came here, immigrated. I'm a product of immigration. Like, yeah, my grandmother on my father's side, his family came from the Jamestown Reservation, but his father's side, my mom's side, all came from Europe, Germany, England, France. So, like, to think about it, that I might not be here because of, if there wasn't the 14th Amendment, there would never be a possibility of me or a lot of other of us, because if you weren't guaranteed the birth citizenship, um, after being born, that means they can go back and be like, hey, your parents were here illegally and you weren't, or even though you were born here, you got to go too, and you already have kids and grandchildren. That's how far back this could go. That's just my opinion on it. I'm going to give you the facts here now, so that way I could stick to my no sugarcoating and only facts and non biased reporting. But Trump's proposal to end citizenship and the 14th Amendment. Alright, today we'll be discussing a significant and controversial proposal made by former President Donald Trump and current President elect Donald Trump. Regarding the concept of birthright citizenship in the United States. Specifically, Trump has suggested that children born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants should not automatically receive U.S. citizenship. He argues that such children should not be granted citizenship on day one, referring to the moment of birth, a principle grounded in the 14th Amendment. Yeah, that's just crazy. The proposal recently Donald Trump made highlights by asserting that if he were reelected, which he did gain the reelection, so this is a little bit outdated, I guess, on my wording. I was looking into this before, and then he just recently came out and said the same thing, so I thought I'd touch base on it. He would push for changes to the current interpretation of birth citizenship. The proposal is rooted in the idea that children born on U.S. soil to undocumented immigrants should not automatically acquire U.S. citizenship. Trump has argued that the practice, which has been in place for over 150 years, is being exploited by individuals seeking to gain citizenship through their children, and that is contributing to illegal immigration. In his statement, Trump said that on day one, a child born to undocumented immigrants would not be granted U.S. citizenship. This would be a radical shift in U.S. immigration policy. A birthright citizenship is a principle ensuring in the Constitution. Like, my whole thing is, knowing what I know and about it, he can't do it, but I guess, there's the chance, I guess. That's why we're here talking about it. But think about this. If it went through, what country would that kid belong to? Because technically, if the kid wasn't born in the country the parents came from, they're not a citizen there either. It's kind of wild. Every country that I know of, if you're born in their country, on their soil, you're automatically a citizen there. And the same thing applies here, even though my parents weren't illegal, it's the same concept. This is the 14th Amendment. Let's talk about that. To understand why Trump's proposal is so controversial, we need to look at the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, shortly after the Civil War, and its first section contains the clause that guarantees birthright citizenship. And this is how it reads. Not my opinion, no sugarcoating, just clear as day. This is the exact wording. All persons born are naturalized in the U.S. or United States and subject to the jurisdiction, therefore are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. It's kind of clear as day when I read it. My comprehension of that is like, you're born here on this soil, you're automatically a citizen. You belong here. This is your home. This is your motherland, your fatherland, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Down below, man, comment. Let me know what your opinion is. This clause is what has been interpreted to mean that any child born on U.S. soil, regardless of the legal status of the parent, is automatically a U.S. citizen. This has been the law for more than 150 years and has been reaffirmed by various court rulings, including in 1998 Supreme Court decision in U.S. versus Wong Kim Ark, which confirmed the 14th Amendment applies to all children born in the U.S. except for children of foreign diplomats or enemy forces during wartime. And that makes sense. If it's a foreign diplomat, technically, it's kind of like when we are born to parents in the military that are overseas. So, like, if you're born on a military base in Germany, you're still an American citizen. And that's because that base there, or wherever you're stationed, that is classified as U.S. soil, which automatically makes it like if you were born here in country. And if you're a diplomat, you would be housed and doing all your business in your country's little section where they have their building and stuff, and that would be classified as their soil, even though it's here in the United States. Same thing, like I was just saying with us being born in the military. And then obviously during wartime, if we're invaded and somebody pregnant from the invading force, obviously they're not an American, they're not any, it's war. So, why that kid would automatically, in my opinion, let's say, for example, Russia invaded us, that would be a Russian kid. It's not like illegal immigration is an act of war at this moment, according to our law. That possibly could change. We'll find out. But, that's wild. Trump's interpretation versus legal precedent. Trump proposed to end birthright citizenship rest on a challenge to the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. He and some of his supporters argue that the clause should be interpreted differently, suggesting that it was never meant to apply to children of undocumented immigrants. They believe that the amendment intent was to grant citizenship to children of free citizens and not to those whose parents are in the country unlawfully. However, legal scholars and constitutional experts have strongly disagreed with this interpretation. They argue that the text of the 14th Amendment is clear and ambiguous in its guarantee of citizenship to anyone born on U.S. soil. Furthermore, any attempt to overturn or reinterpret this provision would likely require a constitutional amendment, a process that is difficult and requires broad political support. In other words, what they're saying is, while a president or Congress can propose the changes on immigration law, altering the 14th Amendment, it would still require a higher level of legal and legislative action. And if I believe I'm correct, it would still take for something like that, like 3/4 of the states agreeing on it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read at some point in time on some legal pages. So legal and political challenges. Even if Trump were to pursue this proposal, he would face significant legal and political challenges. The legal hurdles are considerable as courts have consistently upheld birth citizenship. Any executive order or legislation attempting to end birthright citizenship would almost certainly face immediate legal challenges, and the matter could ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court. Politically, any effort to eliminate birth citizenship would also be continuous. Birthright citizenship is a deeply embedded principle in American law and culture, and any challenge would have profound implications for millions of people who were born in the U.S. to immigrant parents. This includes children who may have lived in the U.S. their entire lives but whose parents lack legal immigration status. Repealing birthright citizenship could create a new class of stateless individuals or refugees, raising significant human rights concerns. See what I was saying about the whole who does the kid belong to, because he ain't a citizen of the country their parents came from, and like this points out, there's 40, 50, and 60-year-olds that could go under that if it was pushed through. I mean, you're 60 years old, you never lived in that country, you have no connection to that country. That third country is going to say you're not even a citizen of theirs. Like, that is just crazy. I guess we'll see how it goes, but this is the facts. I mean, I'm throwing my opinions in here, but don't pay attention to my opinions too much. Pay attention to the facts fully, and then go cross-reference my facts. Definitely, though, on the bottom of the screen, comment. Let me know your opinions, feelings, and thoughts on this. Like and subscribe, please. This definitely will help. I'm trying to get this channel back up and running so that way we can get some better content for you guys. So here are the broader implications. Beyond the legal and political challenges, there are broader implications to consider. The United States has long predicted itself on being a nation that provides opportunities for immigrants, including those who come seeking a better life for their children. The principle of birth citizenship has been viewed as one of the key aspects of U.S. immigration policy that reflects this commitment. Like I was talking about earlier, I mean, so my opinion is kind of aligning up with the facts on this one. If birth citizenship were abolished, it would change the calculus for many immigrants. It could deter people from coming to the U.S. if they believe their children will not be granted citizenship upon birth. On the other hand, it could also lead to the rise of new unintended consequences, such as an increase in undocumented migrants, as people might seek ways to circumvent these new rules. I mean, I didn't even think about that one. While I was putting it together and doing my research on it, that popped up, and I'm like, wow, that is something to consider. That's pretty strong there. Alright, I guess we should probably get close to wrapping this up. You guys got lives to get going to, and you don't need to see me and hear my boring voice all night. I just want to get some information out to you guys and get your minds thinking and get you guys researching and start some conversations over this. see what the majority of Americans think, see where we're going as a country. So far, public opinion in conclusion. I guess this was the ending part. Public opinion is the issue, or on the issue, is divided. Supporters on Trump's proposal argue that it would curb illegal immigration and reduce the incentives for people to come to the U.S. illegally. Opponents view it as an infringement on the fundamental rights of children and potential step towards more exclusionary immigration policy. In conclusion, Trump's proposal to end the birthright citizenship presents a significant legal and constitutional challenge. The 14th Amendment of citizenship to anyone born on U.S. soil is cornerstone of American law, and any attempt to alter it would require careful legal consideration and likely face substantial opposition. While this debate may continue in political and public spheres, it is important to understand the constitutional framework that currently governs citizenship in the United States. I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and I'd be happy to take any questions down here in the comments, address them to me. I'll definitely get back to you. Wow. I guess we'll see. I have faith in our Constitution, and I'm a constitutionalist, I guess, in a way is what you can call me. Thinking about it, under his policy, if that would have been around when his grandfather came here, he might not be here either. So I don't think it was thought out. But, there's the facts. Here's what the 14th Amendment says. Here's what Trump said. Here's the opposition. What do you guys think? Let's have a fun, educated conversation down below. Thank you guys and have a good night.